All right, thanks for coming along. It's day 2 with our Mustang Silver. And when I left him yesterday, he was standing right there facing me and stood there, so that was a good place to quit. So I'm going to begin today by reviewing the things I did yesterday, which teaching him that cluck means go, and then also trying to get him to face up to me. And hopefully we can move beyond that and do a few other things. You notice he's not facing me. I just walked in here in the pen and he turned over to face his new girlfriend over there and not face me. So I'm going to walk over here and get his attention. Oh, that was nice. All I did was cluck and he took off at a really nice trot. Beautiful. So he remembers the lesson, okay? Now you might also notice, and maybe you noted yesterday, I've got a horse over here in a pen, and I've got another in kind of to the behind the camera there in a pen. And that's just, see that one taking a bite at him? That's just life, okay? If I were to have an isolated round pen, and I've had one from time to time in my life, see, he'd rather stand there and get bit than he would deal with me. Distractions are just a part of life, so you need to just learn to let those happen. Let those happen, because your horse needs to learn that he needs to focus on me, not the other horses, not the sheep over here, not all this other stuff. Point, cluck. He's trying to stop because there's a horse right behind the camera there, and he'd rather be with him than he would pay attention to me. But this is just taking advantage of things that are around you. I worked at a stables in Saudi Arabia for several years, and we had stallions all around us, constantly nickering at all the horses that I was training, whether they were mares or geldings or stallions. And there was nothing I could do about that except ignore it and keep working and teach those horses to ignore it. So this is not a bad thing. The fact that we've got these other horses here, he needs to learn. See now, looky there, looky there, looky there. Instead of looking at the horse behind him, he looked at me. Beautiful. So let me see what happens if I approach him. And I would very much prefer that he be standing here looking at me. And my wife approached him before we started the camera. She was out here, and he did that right there. And I'm not going to approach him right there. I'm not going to do it that way. Okay? He doesn't get to turn his head away from me and turn his butt toward me, ever. There's no excuse ever. So he needs to learn that right now. That's not something I'm going to tolerate. Now, he doesn't have to do it perfectly today. Good boy. But if he turns toward me at all here, hey, bud. Hey, bud. All right. So right there, he looked at me. Now he's licking his lips. See, he was all tensed up. Oh no, he's going to touch me. And he's a Mustang. He's not gentled enough yet that he craves human touch, even though the previous tip trainer rubbed him a lot. And she did a pretty good job. I mean, she did a lot of rubbing, which is good. But you can see he's not craving that yet. I think he'll get there. This is my second wild Mustang. I think I told you guys that. I've trained, I don't even know how many domestic horses. And when I was a bit younger, okay, that was pretty good. I put a little pressure on that and he gave to it. So he's been taught that. That's really good. Good boy. He looked at me with both eyes and then turned away. Good. Excellent. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. What I was going to tell you was after I'd trained a couple dozen horses, I was a bit younger, I thought, man, I've got this figured out. I can predict what these horses are going to do, etc., etc. And that's called a recipe to get hurt right there. I can predict, I'm right at least 90% of the time, but it's that other 10% that will get you hurt. So even though I think I know what they're going to do, and even though I'm right most of the time, that 5 or 10% when I'm wrong, I've got the scars to show you. Be careful, okay? Especially with the Mustang, because he's still a wild horse. And so you can see right there, just me coming at him with this halter is not comfortable for him. Let's see if I can. Good boy. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Okay, that was nice. So he is broke to lead. Maybe not with just this rope around his neck. Okay, good. But see, he doesn't want me to touch his nose. And I told you the previous trainer had problems with that. So we'll fix that at some point. Maybe not today, but we'll get it fixed. Okay. Let me see if he's going to handle this. Okay. Let him sniff it. He doesn't like it, does he? Okay. Okay. Now, in a wild situation, and this horse spent 2.5 years in the wild, things that approach you like that are probably dangerous. That's why they're so careful and just protective of anything that comes in an angle like that. And he's more used to it coming from the side. That's fine. That's fine. When it came a little faster, it bothered him. Come back this way, bud. Okay. So this is the first time I've ever haltered this horse. I'm not taking anything for granted. Certainly not taking for granted that he couldn't spin around and kick me if he really wanted to. He is more than capable of doing that. Oh, looky there. We just petted him between his eyes. Looky there. How about that? Now, why could I do that if it's never been done before? Because of the work we did in the round pen, getting him to face me. See, we prepared him for it. And that doesn't mean he's over it completely, but that's a real good sign. Okay? You okay, bud? Good boy. All right, you gonna let me halter you here? Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so I'm just trying to be pretty careful here. Not get either one of us in trouble. Here we go, buddy. Okay. Okay, see there? Even after 60 days of being haltered, see him still kind of pull away. So he's still dealing with stuff. He'll get better. Can I finish this? Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tie that halter fairly low. Might even want it a little lower than that. Okay, I'm going to lower it down just a little bit more because it'll give me a little more side-to-side pressure if I need it. I don't normally keep halters really low on a horse's face, but it does come in handy right there if you need to have a little extra pressure. Okay, so let's just start off with a couple of things. Let's start off with him giving the pressure. Good. Okay. Very nice. Do it again, same direction. Good. Very nice. Good. Good boy. Now you notice he does not want to give me two eyes. Okay, let's see if he'll let me switch sides. That was nice. Okay. Now, when a horse spooks like that, he spooked at just my hand. I'm not going to take it away because then that would tell him spooking is the right answer. Instead, I'm just going to keep moving it like that until he gets used to it. And I'll do a approach and retreat with it like this, okay? But if he gets all spooky about something like that, then he's got to learn to deal with it, okay? And I don't know what kind of things he'll try to get away from that, okay? Good boy. Good boy. Now see, how long did that take? A minute or less to fix that? Now let me come back out and try it again. Can I come in here and touch you? I still bothered him a little. Good. And he's really tense. Heads up, his muscles are tight. He's tense. He's worried. But the only way he'll get over being worried is for me to just show him it's not dangerous. See, that was a pat, and it scared him a little. He's a wild horse. Okay. Okay. All right, let me yield his hindquarters. Good. Point. Cluck. Okay. And I don't know how much of that he already knew. I'm sure he did know some of it. But hopefully he's putting all this together. Yield your hindquarters. There. Good. Point. Cluck. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to speed him up. Bring him to me. Okay. That means stop. And face me. Good boy. No. And face me. Nope. Good. Right there. Okay, see, if I had stopped when he was even 10 degrees off of center, then I would have taught him 10 degrees is the right answer. No. Straight on is the right answer. That's what I want right there. Good boy.